It's very interesting to see Peter Navarro being so very bullish about the China trade talks, given that he's been one of the biggest China hawks in the Trump administration. And they haven't really been too happy with what they perceive was some softening from President Trump's side at the latest G20.
That's right. I mean, I think we're seeing some confusing signals. Obviously, I think the world was pleased to see the Trump-Xi meeting take place at the G20 and a bit of a pause in tensions and an agreement to return to the negotiating table. But we are certainly a long way off in reaching any kind of long-term sustainable deal.
And we continue to see more reports that from other parts of the Trump administration, they're really going at it against these Chinese companies, including the DOJ that is going to keep that federal ban on using Huawei products. So what sort of resolution can we expect in the meantime, even if we get a trade deal between the two presidents?
Well, I think you're pointing out of the DOJ report on Huawei suggests the real difficulties in the Trump approach to China. The negotiating strategy is creating very few incentives for the Chinese to come to the negotiating table. The punishment, the very hard line on Huawei, is strengthening voices on the Chinese side who would see a crackdown on openness and who would encourage greater state-led investment and industrial policy in China. And on the Chinese side, I think we're seeing a real strengthening of rhetoric about fighting with the United States, being willing to fight to the end, and an unwillingness to sign a deal with the US that is perceived to be one-sided or which locks China into a disadvantageous position.
Yeah, that rhetoric on Huawei, to what extent has that sort of welded the US into its allies into a position that's very difficult to climb down from as well? It's been so tough. The Congress doesn't seem to have any appetite to water things down. Australia, New Zealand, Canada likewise. How can there be a resolution from this?
Well, I think that's right. I mean, the tough line on Huawei and the strong sense of decoupling, particularly on that high-end technology side, makes it very, very difficult to find a way to move forward. Although countries and US allies like Australia and others have been willing to go along with the Huawei ban on 5G technology, more generally in the region and even among US allies, I think there is real concern about the Trump administration's desires to decouple the US economy from China and to expect US allies to go along as well. So exactly where we move to from here is a question, I think, that is very open-ended and very uncertain about what comes next. And what a resolution can be reached, I think, is something that we're still trying to figure out.